Right, so here we are, back from the break. Let's just continue now. As we did with all the other industry application topics, let's take a completely hypothetical example. Let us say there is an FMCG firm called Das & Co. It is a completely Indian company, it's not a multinational company. It's an FMCG firm. It operates nationwide in diverse categories such as shampoos, fairness creams, soap. So all these are what we call personal care products. Now the company is planning to enter into new product categories. Right, these are talcum powder, deodorants, hair dyes, skincare products such as moisturizers, sunscreen lotions, which are also personal care products. So, the relevant thing to remember is that the kind of shops which have these products will be the same kind of shops which have these products as well, which is what brings us to the question of channel satisfaction. So, the company in this hypothetical example has a strong distribution channel. The products go to a this stands for trading and forwarding agent. So these are all various, intermediaries in the chain that goes from product to product, right? So, and then it goes to exclusive distributors. So the distributors stock only Das & Co products. They don't stock the competitors' products. The products are available in all supermarkets, departmental stores, and large and medium general stores or groceries as well. And smaller packs, sachet packs. Are available at petty traders as well. Petty traders are those, hole in the wall kind of shops or the small box kind of shops. So the company maintains a regional sales office in every state where it's present. The regional office has a regional manager. It has several area sales managers. So it has a regional manager. Under that person, it has area sales manager. Right, and under each area sales manager, it has sales executives. Right, so this is the hierarchy of the sales organization of this company. Right, let's go forward. Now, the retailers in this hypothetical example are serviced on a regular basis by the salespersons of the distributors, and less frequently by the company's own salespeople as well. Das & Co faces very strong competition in all the categories where it's present, also in the categories where it's planning to enter. So the competition from large multinationals like Unilever and Procter & Gamble and so forth, and other national Indian players like Kevin Care and Godrej and so forth, and very smaller regional players as well, which varies from state to state. So marketplace success depends partly on the support from the retailer, given the fact that there is so much competition in the market, and the big multinational companies, as we all know, have deep pockets, so they can push their products and advertise in a big way. Hence, the company thinks it is important to understand the strength of the relationship with the retailer. In other words, channel satisfaction. And therefore, a channel retailer satisfaction study in key markets. This is why the company is doing the study. They're already present in personal care products, they're strong, but they have a tremendous amount of competition. They plan to launch 4 or 5 new products which will be sold through the same kind of shops. Now, if these shops are not satisfied with the company at the moment, then they will not take very kindly to the new product launches from the company. They will not support the new product launches from the company. If, on the other hand, if the channel satisfaction today is high, the company will find it that much easier to get the new products that they're launching into the shop shelf and from there into the consumers' homes as well. On the marketing side, they will be doing what they can to get into the consumer's mind. But the support from the channel is equally important, especially given the very competitive nature of the market. Right? So let's go forward. So the study was to be done on an all India basis, right? Only in metro cities, and we talked about this once. Metro cities are the ones which are classified as having 40 lakh plus population. And India is generally considered to be having 8 large metros. And these 8 large metros are Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Chennai, Ahmedabad, and Pune. Eight large metropolitan cities is a traditional classification. In each town, the market research channel satisfaction study needed to cover petty traders and grocery shops. And the sampling was done by splitting the town into different areas, right? And a few outlets of each type in each area. All the interviews are conducted face to face using a paper and pencil questionnaire. Now you might ask me, why are they not using tabs and sophisticated technology to collect data? Tabs do serve a purpose in terms of, it makes data entry easier, it makes tracking the field investigators' movements easily using a GPS tracker. But at the end of the day, paper and pencil is tremendously effective. It's the easiest way to capture data. It keeps a record of the data that you can always go back and compare with. So there are many researchers like me who are still old-fashioned enough and traditional enough to stick to paper and pencil in many situations. Right? So in this hypothetical example, we have done the study through paper and pencil questionnaire. Of course, in real life, some research companies still use paper and pencil. Some companies use tabs. Some companies use mobile to collect data. Right, so let's go forward. A sample size of 960 was targeted. Why 960? We have studied this formula. So this must have some breakup into different states and so forth. These were the shop types, and of the top 6 metropolitan cities, only top 8 metropolitan cities, only 6 were covered. So we did not have Ahmedabad, we did not have Pune. So the sample size is 960 across 6 towns. Right? Just to give a little bit of context, traditionally in India we used to think in terms of 4 big metros. Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Madras, and then Bangalore and Hyderabad joined the party, and more recently Ahmedabad and Pune. But these were traditionally the 4 big metropolitan towns which had a population of more than 40 lakhs. Right? So this is the study design that we used for the sample size 960, covering 6 towns, 2 kinds of shops. Right? Let's look at the questionnaire. We've already seen customer satisfaction questionnaire, extremely simple. We've already seen employee satisfaction questionnaire, extremely simple. A channel sat questionnaire is equally simple. It comes to the point quickly. To begin with, since we said all channel satisfaction studies in the competitive context, we asked the shop person, can you please tell me which are the FMCG firms whose personal care products you handle, that is products like shampoo, soap, etc. Please see this list and tell me which ones you handle. So we are given some mix of real names like Colgate and Unilever and Procter & Gamble, and some hypothetical names like ABC and DAS and DEF, etc. Put on this list here. Go through this list carefully. You will understand that this list is in alphabetical order. Right? A, C, D, D, H, P, M, X, Y, Z. It's an alphabetical order. Why? We need some order, right? We can't go by largest company to smallest company because that will bias the consumer. We can't put our company's name on top. Why would we do that? So we need some order. An alphabetical order is a completely unbiased order to do things, right? Now, if we're using paper and pencil method, the order will be the same for every single respondent. But if we're using a software method like an online survey, we can randomize the order across respondents. There's no particular merit in that actually. But yes, there are some researchers who feel safer randomizing the order to avoid any kind of theoretical bias. So fine, let us have it. You will have seen in product testing that we rotate the order consciously because we believe that there is a possibility of bias there. And therefore, we have consciously rotated the order of placement in the immediate previous chapter that we covered in product testing. But when it comes to this brand name list, there's no real reason why we should rotate the order of names. There's no harm either, however. So we're asking the respondent which are the brands that they handle. So let's say they handle ABC, they handle DAS, they handle Levers and P&G and XYZ, YZP and ZPO. So then we ask them which are the top 3 firms that they deal with. Why? Because we want to compare our brand with some other firms. And we can't compare with all 7 or 8 firms because the questionnaire becomes too long. So we go with the top 3. So which are the top 3 brands? And the person says, for me it is DAS & Co, Hindustan, Unilever and Procter & Gamble. These are the companies whose products they sell mainly. Right? The camera moved a bit, so I want to check that I'm still coming to frame. So this is the questionnaire that we've used. Let's go forward. Now we have the key evaluative questions. Let's talk about these firms. Investigator, the person who's gone on the field to mention DAS & Co and 2 other firms. So in this particular situation, the 2 other firms are Hindustan, Unilever and Procter & Gamble. Let us start with DAS & Co. Keeping everything in mind, which option on this card best indicates how satisfied you are with your overall dealing with DAS & Co. And we have that card. We've already seen that, right? The satisfaction scale 1 to 5. Very dissatisfied up to very satisfied. And which option best describes how likely you want to recommend DAS & Co as a brand that your friends who may want to deal. So if there's somebody in your circle who's your friend or relative who's also thinking of setting up a shop or is thinking of what kind of brands to stock, will you recommend, based on your experience with DAS & Co, will you recommend to him saying, hey, deal with DAS & Co. It's a good product. Consumers come and ask for it. It's a good company to deal with. The terms are very reasonable. Right? Again, we've seen the scale. The scale goes from 0 to 10. The zeros will definitely not recommend. And will definitely recommend. And which option is closest to expressing how likely you want to continue dealing? This again has a scale of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will definitely not continue. Will definitely continue. We've seen the scales before, so I put them on the next page, but I'm sure it's familiar enough for you now. Then the 4th follow-up question comes. Ask only to those people who are not satisfied with the dealing with DAS & Co. Why do you say that you're not satisfied with DAS & Co? So these are 4 evaluative questions. Are you satisfied? Will you recommend? Will you continue? Why are you not satisfied if you're not satisfied? Right? So, sorry, I've jumped a slide. I'm sorry, yeah, it is this right here. This is the next section altogether. diagnostic questions. So the previous 4 questions were the evaluative questions. Now the diagnostic questions. How satisfied are you with each of the following parameters? We saw this in customer sat as well, where we asked about are you satisfied with the politeness and the basic product delivery and the consistency of performance. We saw this in employee satisfaction as well when we asked about are you satisfied with compensation, are you satisfied with your immediate costs, are you satisfied with the career growth prospects. The relevant parameters will come here. As we've already seen, the relevant parameters deal with the commercial terms, the quality of service, the product quality, and the marketing support in terms of generating consumer good. So we ask question 1 to 5 for Das & Co first, and then we ask it for the other 2 firms as well. Right? So this is the questions, and just to give an idea, this will be the way we write the answer. So on the whole, how satisfied are you with Das & Co? Well, I am 4. Will you recommend? Yeah, I'll give 8. Right? And are you likely to continue? Oh yes, I definitely continue. I'm quite happy. I will continue. So are you not? Why are you not satisfied? This is not applicable. Right? Go forward. How satisfied are you with Das & Co? Or number of days credit? Scale 1 to 5, I will give 4. Retailer margin, I'm quite happy retailer margin, I get 5. Amount of advertising, they are not advertising enough, so I'll give 3. Packing quality, excellent packing, 5. Product without damage, fairly good, 4. Blah 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 blah. Then I'll repeat this entire process for the second company. And so, how satisfied am I with, now I know the second company is Hindustan. How satisfied are you? I'm on the whole, I'm very satisfied. Will I recommend? I will definitely recommend. Will you yourself continue? I will definitely continue. Why are you not satisfied? Not applicable. And so on and so forth. Right? And let's say in the third company, just for example, just assumption here, let's say this person is not satisfied with the third organization. So then this question, you will get an answer like products not delivered on time. Or somebody will say no offer for the dealer. Or they will say consumer does not ask for a brand. Right? Or I want a smaller pack size to be made available. So this is a typical questionnaire for the channel setting. And likewise, like we saw for Das & Co, there will be ratings for the other 2 firms as well here. So this is a questionnaire. I have a feeling we've seen enough of sample outputs from all the kinds of studies that we have done. So we have seen customer satisfaction outputs, we've seen channel satisfaction outputs. Exactly the same kind of outputs come in a channel satisfaction study as well. So we don't have specific slides here, but would you like me to just draw out just a couple of typical examples? Yeah. I just take 2 minutes and draw out a couple of examples. Right? But it's not going to be very different from what you've seen for the customer sat and employee sat. As I've said several times, it's all about basic. It's basic H10 in mathematics, not really much more than that. So the typical results that we'll get from the analysis outputs are like this. So if this is the satisfaction scale, percentage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is for Das and Co. This is for HUL. This is for P&G. So Das and Co is like this. HUL is like this. P&G is like this. Right? So this is a percentage. This is 38%, which is giving 515. This is 49% 515. This is 27% 515. So we know that in very simple terms, Hindustan Unilever has got a better satisfaction score than Das & Co. Has got a better satisfaction score than Procter & Gamble. We can look at the mean score here. Maybe it is 4.1. Maybe it is 4.5. Maybe it is 3.9. So that supports what we're saying here. The percentages in the mean score giving a similar result. So Das & Co. consumers are fairly satisfied. But Hindustan Unilever customers, channel partners, are even more satisfied. So, or a better way to articulate the story would be that Hindustan Unilever, the channel partners are even more satisfied with Hindustan Unilever than with Das & Co. But they're more satisfied with Das & Co. than with Procter & Gamble. And when we go through the individual parameters in terms of satisfaction on commercial terms, satisfaction on X, satisfaction on Y, we'll understand why Hindustan Unilever is doing so well and Das & Co. is doing well, but not that well. What is the gap that they have to cover to get on par with the Hindustan Unilever? So the end recommendation of the study would be, where does Das & Co. stand now? Why is it at that level? What is lacking? And what is good? And the third question would be, what needs to be done to improve the relationship with the channel? And the fourth question would be, each of the above three questions, how does it vary by city? Because remember, we have done this for 6 cities. And how does it vary by shop type? Again, if you remember, we have done this for 2 shop types, petty traders and for groceries. So this data that we are seeing here, we can analyze it for every city separately because the sample size is large, 960, which means in every town, Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Madras, Bangalore and Hyderabad, there will be at least 100, 120 shops as in the sample size. Therefore, it's a large sample size. You can analyze the data separately for every city and see how the brand is comparing across different cities. You can also analyze the data across different shop types. Okay, so far? Any questions on this topic on channel set? Or we'll close it here? Yeah. Okay.